What if two figures, separated by nearly 18 centuries, shared remarkably similar lives and missions? Both appeared at times of great spiritual expectation. Both challenged the religious establishment. Both inspired extraordinary devotion among their followers. Both suffered imprisonment, persecution, and execution. And both left a legacy that continues to shape millions of lives. For Christians, Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Savior of humanity. For Baha'is, the Bab is the herald of a new age and the forerunner of Bahá'u'lláh. Today, we'll explore 10 fascinating parallels between their lives, not to diminish either one, but to better understand how the Bahá'í Faith sees God's guidance unfolding throughout history. History often reaches moments when people long for hope, renewal, and divine guidance. Jesus was born during a period when many Jews eagerly awaited the promised Messiah. They anticipated someone who would fulfill ancient prophecies and restore God's kingdom. Nearly 1800 years later, the Bab appeared in Persia in 1844. At that time, many Muslims, especially within the Shia tradition, expected the appearance of the promised Qaim or Mahdi. Into these climates of expectation came two young men whose messages would transform religious history. Neither fulfilled popular expectations in the way people imagined. Instead, both called humanity toward spiritual renewal rather than political revolution. Jesus began his public ministry around the age of 30. For roughly 3 years, he traveled from village to village, teaching, healing, and calling people to love God and one another. The Bab declared his mission at only 25 years old. His ministry lasted approximately 6 years before his execution. Measured by worldly standards, these were incredibly short periods. Yet their influence has endured for centuries. Their lives remind us that history is not always changed by the length of one's life, but by the power of one's message. Neither Jesus nor the Bab possessed armies, wealth, or political influence. Instead, they attracted ordinary people through the power of their words and the example of their lives. Jesus called fishermen, tax collectors, and everyday men and women. The Bab inspired scholars, merchants, clergy, and humble villagers alike. Many left behind comfort, reputation, and even their own safety to follow them. Their followers believed they had encountered a messenger sent by God. Throughout history, new revelations often encounter resistance. Jesus challenged religious hypocrisy and emphasized that true worship begins in the heart. He taught that love, mercy, and justice mattered more than empty ritual. The Bab similarly called people to spiritual renewal. He challenged rigid traditions and invited people to recognize God's new revelation. For many religious leaders, these teachings were deeply unsettling. What some recognized as divine guidance, others perceived as a threat. Opposition quickly followed. Jesus was rejected by many religious authorities. He was arrested, interrogated, mocked, and condemned. The Bab experienced repeated imprisonment. He was moved from fortress to fortress under difficult conditions, while facing constant interrogation and opposition. Their followers also suffered greatly. Many accepted imprisonment, exile, torture, and death, rather than deny what they believed. Although religious leaders sought their deaths, the actual executions were carried out by governments. Jesus was crucified by Roman authorities after pressure from influential religious leaders. The Bab was publicly executed by firing squad in Tabriz, Persia, following condemnation by religious authorities and the Persian government. In both cases, earthly authorities believed they were ending a movement. Instead, their deaths became turning points that strengthened the faith of their followers. The deaths of both figures are remembered with profound spiritual significance. Christians believe miraculous events accompanied the crucifixion and celebrate Christ's resurrection as the central event of their faith. The execution of the Bab is also associated with an extraordinary occurrence. After the first regiment fired hundreds of rifles simultaneously, the smoke cleared. The ropes binding the Bab had been severed. He was no longer standing where he had been suspended. He was found inside the barracks, calmly finishing instructions to his secretary. Only after those instructions were complete did he voluntarily return to face a second firing squad. For Bahá'ís, this symbolizes that no earthly power could end his mission until it had been fulfilled. Neither Jesus nor the Bab focused on political power. Instead, both called people to transform their hearts. Their teachings emphasized love, purity, compassion, justice, forgiveness, prayer, service to others. Both taught that true religion begins within and is reflected in how we treat one another. One of the most profound similarities is that both looked beyond themselves. Jesus promised the continuing work of God's Spirit and spoke of his return in glory. The Bab repeatedly declared that his mission was to prepare humanity for He whom God shall make manifest. Just 19 years after the Bab's declaration, Bahá'u'lláh announced that he was the one foretold by the Bab. For Bahá'ís, the relationship between the Bab and Bahá'u'lláh resembles in many ways the relationship between John the Baptist and Jesus, yet on a much greater prophetic scale. Neither Jesus nor the Bab built kingdoms. Neither established political empires, yet their influence has spread across the globe. Millions continue to study their teachings, celebrate their lives, and strive to live according to the spiritual principles they reveal. Their lives remind us that the greatest revolutions often begin not with force, but with truth, compassion, and unwavering faith. From a Bahá'í perspective, the lives of Jesus Christ and the Bab reveal a beautiful pattern throughout religious history. God has never abandoned humanity. Again and again, He has sent divine educators to guide us according to our needs and capacity. Though separated by centuries, Jesus and the Bab each called humanity to recognize God, to purify the heart, to love one another, and to prepare for an ever-advancing civilization. Perhaps their greatest similarity is not found in the circumstances of their lives, but in the eternal light they brought to the world. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration meaningful, please like this video, subscribe to A Path for the Soul, and share it with someone interested in the connections between the world's great religions. Until next time, may your path be filled with light, truth, and peace.